Who's at work today?
That nigga from the Bronx.
Dave Dollar. Dave Dollar. Where Dave Dollar at? You call somebody Dave Dollar? It's real.
He got money, dog.
Yeah, Dave Dollar. Oh yeah, Dave
He's
Dollar.
at work.
Shout out to my man Dave Dollar from Harlem. You know what I'm saying?
He's not from
Harlem God. Harlem God. Dave Dollar.
Okay.
We rolling? All right then. So listen. We on episode 62, dog. Of the Pint Size Podcast. We ain't rolling. Oh, we rolling. Okay, so we rolling. Episode 62. Man, you know what? I'm a little excited, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's just been me and FC for the last few weeks. You know what I'm saying? Millie been modeling all over Asia in her modeling world tour. She did some stuff with Pepsi. A couple of things with a new line called Milan.
Wait, what?
And then another line called I'm Lying. Yeah, I don't know if y'all familiar with that line. I'm lying.
They cold.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been me and FC, man. But you know, now we got a soft face in here today.
I'm back, guys.
I was hoping to see boy's scruffy beard, but you know, he's still getting back in the swing of things.
Got to process.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's his father, which is understandable. But I'm excited.
You excited, bro?
I really am.
He's excited.
I really am. I'm about to roll out my new name today. I'm gonna let you do you first, and then I got y'all covered.
Yo, I don't even want to do mine.
I'm about to kill him.
Like, we don't have to do no AKAs.
I'm about to kill him.
I swear.
I'm about to kill him.
It's me, FC on the beat, aka fourth quarter Freddie, aka.
Wow!
Listen, man.
He said,
let me put the disclaimer on it.
What?
I've been under the weather, and right now I'm under the influence of a lot of allergy medication. All right, so it's gonna be weird, but. FC on the beat, a.k.a. Fourth Quarter Freddie, a.k.a. Freddie Franchise, a.k.a. the best you ever heard. You're just afraid to admit it, a.k.a. Mr. I Have a Dream. So get your hands on my pocket, a.k.a. Speedy Truckton, a.k.a. Bomb Stockton, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Bazaar, a.k.a. Wavy Crockett, a.k.a. F the Netflix Guy, a.k.a. Hot Take Jake, a.k.a. Young Hulu, a.k.a. Mr. Always Stay Focused, a.k.a. Mr. Always Locked and Loaded, a.k.a. Mr. All Bags Match.
That was good recovery. Good recovery.
No, I mean, sometimes, you ain't got to make all the jumpers. But
guys,
you gotta recover.
I'm back. Did you miss me? I'm sure you did. So I'm just playing. It's me, guys. Millie, the model. I've been pretty busy. I'm so happy to be back. These past few Wednesdays, I've been busy with school, gigs. So for once, I have a free Wednesday. Check me out in the new Creatively Stock photo that's going to be coming out. That's one of my latest projects.
Let's do it.
Okay.
And then I'm about to be doing some work with a local black business by a beautiful black woman, Chaco Body. That's the brand line. So I'll be shooting with her sometime this weekend. So be on the lookout for that. And I hope you guys are having a great day. What's up? Talk to us.
It was a wild time today. First of all, in the pre-production of the show,
oh shoot,
as we were, discussing how we were going to attack this week's news cycle, the young King Blue Just Train gets a FaceTime. I don't know who it was, and that person doesn't have to be disclosed here, But you ever heard that giggle out there, listeners? That one giggle, that one laugh.
Oh, here you go.
Y'all know the one laugh.
How us girls do when we're talking to a guy that we maybe fancy, so we're like, oh my god.
Oh, is that what happened? Oh, is that how that went down? Oh man, you wildin'.
You just find everything they say so funny.
Blue is in his bag on today.
He's in his bag.
Hey man, I think the problem is the haters are out because they realize that ever since I met Millie, the model, you know what I'm saying, I've been putting her in positions to win.
Oh my, what?
And
what kind of pivot was this?
I think any good friend, you know what I'm saying, puts his friends in position to win.
That's a wild
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a
the
wild
first time
pivot.
I met her, I cared about her physical health. I said, come and get this work. She had to pay a couple times, but I said,
you
have
to
cut it out. Cut it out.
Reiterate that.
Cut it out. I'm a trainer. What do you mean? I don't have to do that? Is that how Boy would have said it? What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, I don't have. What do I have to figure out?
I'm just looking at FC's face when you said that. That was just
FC is
I'm not even talking
FC's
about
a different
that.
kind of guy.
The pivot is so. I
different
don't
kind of
know
guy.
how we got here.
Don't worry about it. Let
That's
me
a
drive.
crazy
I don't
pivot.
know.
Let me drive.
What is happening?
don't
Let
know.
me drive. Millie the model, the first time you walked through the doors of 1436 St. Clair.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You came. You got your little sweat on. You did your little shameless ladies heel toe tap tap 102. And I said, you know what? Now pick these weights up. Go get this Temple Works. You know what I'm saying?
Shout
And
out
ever
to
since,
Shout out Temple Works.
it's been an undeniable connection,
It has.
bond between the both of us.
Yep.
Now you about to be getting a whole nother bag.
I know. Whole
I
nother
don't need
bag.
credit. I don't need credit. I ain't looking for that. I just want to make sure that you smile.
Listen,
No. It's been a lot going on, man.
I don't know.
But no,
There's been
really,
so
guys.
much going on.
Look out for
And
your
chilling.
friends. If you
Nah,
have an
nah,
opportunity for your friends that you know they're suited for and you can put them on, you do that. That's real friends
Yeah,
that they
that's what
do.
we
They want to see
do.
their friends win. That's how
True.
that stuff goes.
FC's so underqualified, I can't give him anything to do. You know what I'm saying?
It's very true. Like, you know, I haven't been able to catch many oops in my day from flow.
No, I'm lying, man. I'm just in a good mood today. In a very good mood.
So where we starting, man?
It don't even matter.
I'm not starting there. Go ahead. Somebody else start.
Where we starting, it don't matter. Like, what
Okay,
you mean,
go
Does it
for
matter?
it. What
Does
you
it
got?
matter?
Millie's hasn't been
you
here in
ready?
2 months.
Are
What
you ready
got?
to go in?
No.
No.
I'm just here. Whatever you
You're
want
just
to do.
here. Okay, let's
Don't poke the bear though.
All right, Kaepernick, Colin Kaepernick.
Cool, I
They
like
finally
that.
reached a settlement. Man's getting paid, rightfully so. He's getting paid for about what is it, $80 million settlement?
That's what they estimate. Yep.
So yes,
Between 60
our
and
man, our fighter, getting the recognition he needs.
Some people are angry at him right now. Some people are angry.
Because some people are stupid.
Some
But you
people
want to
are
explain it? Go
stupid.
ahead, explain it.
No, I mean, I don't really feel the need to explain it. However, I guess if we're going to unpack, we should unpack a little bit.
A little bit.
Some people feel as though he, quote unquote, sold out by settling, and that he shouldn't have done that. My take's a little bit different than that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think that he lost the fight, taking a settlement. First of all, nobody wins against a corporation like this. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about one of the biggest corporations in our country.
Yeah.
Like, in our country's history. Like, period.
Top 7 all
You know
time.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you won a small piece of what they're making. Let's be honest, a small piece of
Small
what they're
piece.
making. So estimated $80 million, right?
Yeah.
Small piece of what they're actually making. For me, in my perspective, I guess my question isn't necessarily who won or who lost.
Okay.
My question is, with that settlement, what can or can't you do now?
Right.
Well, I know it's it's been reported that it's a what is it? A semi gag order, like semi, to
Yeah.
where we gonna give you the bread and we moving on. So you can't disclose the documents the proof that you got. We gonna pay you for it. So like, but that comes usually in those kind of things. Like, okay, here's the bread. I get you. I know what you got. Let's relax. Let's all fall back. I kind of get it, but I don't understand how people can call this, say he sold out or anything like that. Because and if you read any of the information, his management is now fielding offers so he can play again. You know what I mean? So, and people want him to play. I think people always have wanted him to play, but they were afraid of the repercussions overall because of what the league was trying to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I knew Bob Kraft wanted him on that team. I knew that because they were preparing they didn't think Brady was going to even play this long. You know what I mean? And I know the Panthers were looking for a guy. And those just happened to be the two teams. I know the Ravens were one, but his girlfriend messed that up. That was in you know what I'm saying, right before all the case came out. So Cass wanted them to play, but the league, I think it was more than just a few owners. I think it went a little higher than just a few owners, and that's what kind of deterred him. But I think Cap played it the best way he could. But I like it. You get paid, you get lost wages. And it's still a win because for the NFL to settle, you had to have had some evidence that was irrefutable. You know what I mean? So that's a W. I think all parties, in terms of the ones who were fighting, I think Cap made out good. I think the NFL made the play that was the best, I think, just overall. Like, if it was collusion there, and maybe it wasn't an executive thing, or maybe, you know what I'm saying? I think the league overall made a great business move by not letting that go. I think Cap made a great personal business move by getting paid. You know what I mean? I think it was good.
Yeah.
I think it was good all the way around. Do I want to see Cap play? Yes. Because I want to see what he does in the league right now, because I know that he can start over at least 15 starting quarterbacks in the league right now.
15 out of 32?
Yep.
Not playing for 3 years?
Yep.
I ain't gonna go that far.
I do.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go
I
that
think so.
far.
I think if he off-season train, he can start in Buffalo tomorrow.
Over who?
The bum that's there now. What's his name? Josh Allen? He's starting over Josh.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I think he got to work back to it. I won't deny his talent, but yeah. So a semi-gag is what you're saying.
Something like that. Yeah.
Semi-gag, yeah. I mean,
but to me, that's not a loss. I get it.
It's
No,
not
no,
a
I don't
loss
think it's a loss to
because
take the
of
money.
fact, like,
Yeah, I get it.
I reward Cap because he stood his ground. For the longest.
Cap did stand
And
his
a
ground,
lot
yes.
of players, as soon as that policy came out, they backed away because of that fear. And he said, you know what? I'm going to sit here and make the sacrifice. I'm standing what I believe in, and I'm standing on what's wrong. I don't care how big your corporation is. And that takes a lot of bravery to do, because you are risking a lot. You're risking, providing for your family and stuff like that. But he was fortunate enough that he had other companies that sat here and they made up for that lack of pay, and they
did.
supported him very grand, and even risking their companies supporting such a strong message. So, people might see it as selling out, but when you're doing something that in the beginning, football wasn't a black sport. And it wasn't in black favor. So for someone who is bringing back the values that were of the superstars back then, of the starters, of us pioneering through sports, I'm happy to see that, because it's a black man. He's educated. He knows his rights. He's not going to let just, the white man or whatever, the fear of being left out or being put out or shut down, destroy what is important. So that's why I condemned him with, and that's why I feel like it. I mean, it's a good settlement. It probably will take him. He's going to have to train really hard to get back into the league. Of course, his agent said that he has 3 offers that he could go to. So there are teams that are still interested in him, very much so. And that is also a thing. He did luck out, because other players, maybe if they would have done it, they wouldn't have been so lucky to have the opportunity to come back and
I agree. Especially after this. Especially
after this.
You sued the
and
Dragon,
even
and then now you might be able to play again for the Dragon.
His partner, Eric, who partnered in with this, like, he just barely was able to get with the Carolina Panthers and do a 3-year deal with them because of this.
He was criticized. I mean, them drug tests. He had to do 11 drug tests.
Yeah.
11 random drug tests.
Just
him.
After plays that wasn't, he hit the dude, but come on now.
Come on. So one thing I will say, and my man D. Bill just said it on Facebook Live. He said that, Cap took a stance not knowing if he would ever make another dollar again. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know that. He was trusting that what he was doing was right. I think what bothers me is that through the whole thing, while he was sacrificing, going through this, you saw him still honoring his commitments. He said, listen, I'm going to give you guys $150,000 to go to this thing. He was still making payments, you know what I'm saying, out of whatever he had saved. He was still active in his community. He was still doing everything that he set out to do. He continued to do it.
Yeah.
I think what bothers me is a lot of people who are coming against him are people who, one, don't try to actually understand what the underlying issue is. And first of all, I'm talking about people of his same hue. I'm not even dealing with the opposite yet, right? One, they don't even understand the objective. Or two,
can you explain the objective?
He's criticized the objective for Colin Kaepernick, in my opinion, was to start a conversation.
So, like, what was it? So you said that people just don't understand his objective.
I don't think a lot of people understood his. I think.
Can you break down what
a lot of people
what his objective was
to start a conversation?
So to do what he actually did.
To do what he actually did, to start a conversation. Listen, first of all, you might have an elephant in the room, but something about us as people, even though the elephant might be taking up half of the room literally, we can find a way to ignore the elephant in the room. We'll find a way. We'll do everything uncomfortable just to make sure that we don't deal with that uncomfortable elephant that's in the room.
That's true.
So we'll move and gravitate to this side, and we'll be stuck in this little corner over here having conversations, knowing that this elephant is right behind us. We might have to go to the bathroom a whole lot, but we'll take an extra trip around the corner just to go to the bathroom when we can finally get this elephant removed out of the way. That's what we do naturally as people, right?
Yeah.
Keapernick said, okay, well, even if I have to do this alone, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sacrifice my platform to start a conversation about something that's going on. Even though it's in our face, even though we got camera evidence, even though we got history evidence, even though it's written, like you can see this documented all through the history of this country, what's not happening is there isn't anybody in our community that's standing up and sparking this conversation intently for a long period of time.
So you were going to a greater point. I'm sorry.
No, go what you about to say.
So I guess my question is in this, and I don't disagree with any of that.
Go for it.
I agree 100%. I guess my question is, at the end of the day, first of all, I'm very happy he got paid because what they did in response to him making that stand was BS.
Uh-huh.
So, but at the end of the day, right, when the dust has settled, what did his protest do to change the issue in which
the problem? This is my thing. When somebody asks us a question like that,
okay,
I've never seen, or if you have, it's been an anomaly. I've never seen a protest occur and whatever you were fighting for changed in that moment that you were protesting.
Okay.
Sometimes it takes for you to be the individual to plant a seed for somebody else to come behind you and till the ground, and keep tilling the ground and water until that thing grows.
Okay.
Right? I'm not trying to be like philosophical or super, super deep. But the bus boycott, in hindsight, we look at PBS videos and we look at little different things and think that stuff happened literally in like a 2-month period. It didn't.
It didn't.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
It took years for them to resolve these things. The difference between then and now is I think that we had stronger leadership and a greater moral indebtedness, all right, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
I think we felt more morally in debt to our people then than we do now. I think now we've allowed Jim Crow. We have allowed all of these things that have been put into place to divide us to the point where everything is only about ourselves. I don't really think that we actually think about each other that much. I think that when Cap did that, he was literally thinking about us as a whole. This is why I say that.
Okay.
Even though the protest is one part of what he got even though the protest was a big part of everything that he had criticized about, Cap was still doing things on the ground. Mm-hmm. He was protesting, and he got his brothers to do the same thing around the league, right?
Right.
But he was still taking action outside of the league. He was still taking his money. He was still spending the time in his community, the things that do change.
Yes.
I think sometimes to affect one thing or a big thing, you have to try to deal with it on so many different sides, though. So with him, his objective was, let's actually have a conversation about this thing in this arena that this conversation does not want to be had at, and force these people to have this conversation. Because I know on this biggest stage, then the world will talk about it.
So do you think that, and I'm just asking because I'm very confused. I'll be honest, and this is why I'm asking the questions. Because I'm very confused at this point in my life.
Okay.
As to what the best course of action is to promote change, right? I'm not ready to say that protests are not effective. I'm not ready to say that because there's evidence of what you've just said, right? I also look at it from a different perspective. I think that black people of color,
all right,
I think that we have been able in recent years to get more money than we've ever been able to before. We've had access, and I understand that it's because of what happened then, right? The protests, the people who fought and put their lives on the line. I get that. But I also see now we're in a generation where a lot of people that look like us are getting big sums of money.
They are.
Yeah.
Legitimately, they're building things from the ground and it's prospering, right?
Absolutely.
I see the coin Let me just overarch it. So I respect Colin Kaepernick for being the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And being the guy that's on the ground as the face of that franchise, doing the work that he was doing already as the face of that franchise, right? I also understand the argument that him standing up and protesting for the conversation's sake platformed his stance to levels that maybe it wouldn't have touched if he hadn't took the stance that he took, right? What I see at the end is you took the stance, you got blackballed for taking the stance.
Okay.
That's the story. Mm-hmm. Fine. You fought because collusion was happening. We all knew that. We all knew why it was happening. You fought and you won. That's the story. Mm-hmm. Now, what you do off the books, off the record, is still happening. And that's more important than this story.
Yeah, but
so to me, the protest and the kneeling of the anthem, what I understand why he did it. Okay. And if given the position, I get it, right? But at the end of the day, that's not the story. The story is collusion because he protested. We're not talking about why he protested anymore. We're talking about we came in here. No. Go.
Them doing that to control a narrative is one thing.
That's not. No, I gotta stop you.
Go for it.
Gotta stop you.
Go for
because the narrative. I think the narrative evolved naturally. I don't think it was controlled.
Okay. The narrative derived from the fact that he was blackballed for doing what?
Absolutely, for protesting.
Okay, so that became a story within the story. You
sure.
still can't negate the actual story because of the story, the chapters in the story. There's no way around that. No way around that. Muhammad Ali was a boxer. And I hate to compare them because Keapernick didn't face jail time like Muhammad Ali did.
Go for it.
But he did sacrifice his check like Muhammad Ali did. Muhammad Ali is a boxer. Wrong? That's wrong?
This is about to be a real wild comparison you're going to try to make, but go for it.
No, I'm not trying to. No, I'm not. I don't want to compare their two things at all.
Okay.
Like when you talk about when you talk about going to prison, being in prison,
yes,
and speaking up for people in the midst of a draft, and the stakes are high.
That's way different.
The stakes are high.
Yeah,
the stakes are super high.
Yeah.
I would never try to slight what Muhammad Ali did to even compare it to that. Mm-hmm. But naturally, as human beings, you take something that's similar to something and you try to piece it together. Yeah. So that's all I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm not trying to even say it's on the same level because jail time's something different. Mm-hmm. What I will say this, though, is they both sacrificed not knowing where they was going to get their next dollar from.
True.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is a fact.
True.
All right? Across the board.
True.
So, with Keapernick, right? I'm sorry, with Muhammad Ali, his story only took place because of who he was first.
Yes.
Like, Cap could have protested all day long. Muhammad Ali could have protested all day long, but he would have just been some black dude on the corner protesting.
I'm with it.
The stage is what makes your protest more effective. Mm-hmm. Martin Luther King normally, right, if before he became who he became, if they didn't say, listen, we're gonna have a meeting and we're gonna hand select this man right here and we're gonna make him the forefront of this civil rights movement, even though there might have been people who were actually doing more work than Martin Luther King. Like your stage still dictates the depth of whatever you're doing.
This is where it's different.
Go for it.
Muhammad Ali is a great example, but from what I know, and I could be wrong at this point. From what I know, Muhammad Ali became Muhammad Ali by being who he needed to be able to rise in the ranks in the boxing arena.
What?
So Muhammad Ali didn't snub his nose at the organizations or promoters who were paying him to be Muhammad Ali. Those were two separate arguments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So my thing with Cap is you do more if we can see you more. That was my only thing was, okay, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're doing. You have the right to do it. I get it. But these are the rules of engagement with this organization, and we need you to be in this organization to stay in our face to make the changes.
Mm-hmm. See, but I disagree with that.
And
though.
I think that
go,
comes
Millie,
down to
because me and him about to go.
Yeah, I can tell. So I get what you're saying. We need to see him more. But I think then at that point, when it's off the field, that really comes down to media. Because it's their choice if they still want to bring this whole in your face, like, I'm going to sit here, like, because that's the thing. He went on news outlets, he talked about it, and then that's it. It's not like if he would have maybe kept pushing those news interviews, being on podcasts, being on this show, then yeah, maybe we would have seen what you're saying. Like, we would have saw him more. Even though he wasn't in the organization, we would have saw more.
No, I get you, but I think if Cap would have played the system, he would have got more results.
I don't think so.
I do.
I don't think so.
I do.
Because the only thing would have happened was you'd have been a quarterback in the NFL, and then that would have been the end of your story.
That's not true.
Yes, it would have been.
That's not true.
You would have never sparked a conversation about what you wanted to spark the conversation about.
You saying, listen. No. That's not true. That is not true. Like, you wouldn't have done it on the stage that can fire you. My thing is this. If you are rising through the ranks and you're doing your thing on that organization, now you're the face of the organization. You're playing. LeBron James can say whatever he wants. Why?
Because the NBA is different than the NFL.
If it wasn't, he could say whatever he wants.
If the NBA was not different than the NFL, LeBron
the
James would not.
The NBA is the same as the NFL.
No, it is
Listen,
not. No, it's
the
not.
the NBA has harsher rules against protests than the NFL does.
They do.
Okay, so my thing is this. The people who rise through the ranks of the league play the games of the league so they can have the voice and exposure that's necessary to do whatever they want.
They didn't play the games of the league.
Yes, they did.
They changed it.
No, they did not.
Yes,
At the end of the day, the rules was just as harsh.
Oh, bro, listen, you're talking about one simple thing. You're talking about the infrastructure.
Go.
It is an absolute fact.
Go.
That LeBron James in this generation has changed the infrastructure of the game.
Tell me how.
I mean, he changed the not infrastructure,
I mean,
what is it? What is it when you change the not the climate?
No.
What's the better word? What is the better word?
I don't know what the better
What's the
word
better word? I don't want to say atmosphere. What's the better word?
That's my only.
All right. Well, LeBron James
changed what it is.
He changed that.
Okay.
The culture.
There we go.
LeBron James changed the culture of the NBA.
I'm rolling.
For a fact, right?
I'm
Not
rolling.
only did he change that, but you can look at all these people that follow behind him that have adapted to that culture. And the league realized that, whoa, we gave these players too much power.
Go.
And they got control of it. They control the culture of it. But if we want to continue to make money and not go through what the NFL has went through, we're going to allow them to continue to build the culture of the league. The NFL's mentality may have been the same, right?
Yes.
But they weren't willing to give that situation to the players at all, period.
I think that was never true. And we can move over here because this is the news that I have that makes me. All of this stems from this one thing.
Okay, go.
The fact that the majority of owners of NFL teams have been reaching out to Adam Silver to understand how to work this thing.
Yeah. I don't understand why that changes.
Because that tells if you didn't want to understand how to make culture work in your organization, you wouldn't reach out to the man that did it. He successfully navigated this crap
because
and
they
said, "Yo, let's figure out what's going on."
The only thing that's saying is, okay, the way we've been doing things have not been working.
Absolutely,
the way you're doing things is working.
But hear me. Either way, the NFL still makes the money they make. Either way.
The NFL still is going to make money,
yeah.
But it's a fact that their money has been down.
So, but down for the NFL and down for the NBA are two different things.
Down for whatever.
That's two different things.
Down for any corporation and down for the household person is different. So that's across the board.
All I'm saying is this: that there is room in the National Football League to do what LeBron did in the NBA. I'm telling you,
I'm telling you that the owners did not allow that. If they would have allowed their players,
you think the owners in the league wanted LeBron to run the league?
Probably did not. You're not listening to me. They probably did not, but they allowed it to happen because they realized this is bigger than me. We still need to get this money. How we gonna take this? And that's the difference too. In the NFL, bro, a black quarterback and a black basketball player can have two different roles. Yeah. You can't be Tom Brady and be a black quarterback. You can be LeBron James and be Michael Jordan in this league.
Sure.
It's different. Yeah. Michael Jordan can't be Jerry West.
Well, who's to say?
The facts say it. Michael Jordan could be Jerry West.
I'm going to let it rock.
We're going to let the logo be the face of the league now. Or the person who's not the logo be the face of the league.
I see.
Yeah, the NBA is different, bro.
I see you guys conversation. We're going to move on. We'll save this, put a pin in it. This is obviously
Thank you, Molly.
something that needs to go. Obviously, someone
Just
we need to
looking
talk
around,
it deeper,
bro.
in depth, that maybe we can highlight in the next episode, the NBA versus
Yo, we going to
NFL,
YouTube.
really break it down.
We going to YouTube to have this conversation.
Okay, so on to our next story, Mr. Steve Harvey and Monique.
I'm definitely
So
not touching this one.
he invited his friend, Monique, to sit on his show to pretty much explain and have a friendly back-to-back conversation of her status in the industry. So for guys you don't know, Monique, recently she got offered a Netflix deal for millions of dollars. She turned it down, felt like they were not going to pay her too much, so she was like,
No, it
you know,
wasn't
forget
for
that.
millions of dollars.
And then
It was for $1 million.
$1 million, yes. Now, and then before that, Monique was already creating controversy because she pretty much was saying, fuck you, Oprah Winfrey, fuck you, Tyler Perry, pretty much saying these people are selling out. And
I didn't know you use those kind of words.
what?
Big words. You're using big words.
So, yeah, so Steve Harvey invited her on the show, and they had a friendly conversation. She talked about the situation, and she pretty much called Steve Harvey out, saying, like, you know, as someone who's my friend, you sat here and told me privately, you know, you agreed with my stance and you understand where I was coming from, but then you went on public air and pretty much wanted nothing to do with me. So I'm hurt as a friend, pretty much saying, like, I feel like you guys are selling out. Like, and Steve Harvey then go on to say, you know, it's not selling out, it's playing the money game. You know, it created a stir within the, I guess, Black Twitter, like
game.
consciousness, unconsciousness, like, you know, and yeah.
I guess it's going to be that show for me.
And
you can send your angry letters to
and
Pint Size Podcast.
and Steve Harvey was saying, you know, there's a way to go about getting a message out without really taking it that far. But she felt as though, like, no, I'm going to stand on what I stand, and that's that.
First of all,
Go ahead, FC.
First of all, let's go back.
Go ahead, FC.
Let's go back.
Go ahead, FC.
Let's go back. Now, before I even touch this interview, I want to make it publicly known where I stick with Monique. All right. I think Monique did not play her hand properly. I think she reneged her partners like 3 times, you know, cost by $4, you know. They set like 3 or 4 different hands and they lost the game. That's how I think they played. Okay. It was bad. All right. And she had the old hand and they lost the whole game. Okay. So what I'm saying is this. Oh my God. So first of all,
oh man,
Monique and the Netflix deal. Let's go back to this. All right. Monique, first of all, Netflix came to her and said, or she pitched the deal, and Netflix said, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there, that's the W. Like, okay,
absolutely.
I didn't deserve this. Let's rock.
I'm just shooting the ideal.
Let's rock.
Yeah.
I'm going for it.
Yeah.
So for you to come back and say, nah, I want Amy Schumer money when Amy Schumer was hot, or I want Chris Rock money.
Yeah.
No. Let's say who she actually said flat out.
Who she say?
She said Dave Chappelle.
I want Dave
Chappelle
I want
money.
Dave
She wants
Chappelle
Dave
money.
She said y'all just paid
money.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want Dave Chappelle money.
Now, listen, Monique.
That's crazy.
We have our own opinions, and I'm gonna move on. But you had the bag in hand.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big Thule luggage.
Yeah.
It was a carry on, but it was a bag.
Yeah.
So you screwed that up. Then you got mad at everybody around you that was getting to the bags.
Yeah.
That was playing the game, getting to the bags, and then making their other moves.
So you start hating.
Yeah. So then let's fast forward to Steve. So you get on Steve's show, which you got to check for.
Now you got to go before that. You missing something.
What I miss now?
When she got on stage and told Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, she
fuck
said if I had a male part, I would tell y'all to. That's what she said.
I would tell y'all.
She said I would
too.
tell y'all to. She said that.
She said that.
She said that.
Now, no, let's look at the names on this list.
On stage though.
Oprah Winfrey.
She told
Do you remember the first? You wasn't even around. You remember the first theme song?
Come on, man. Come on.
That's the first one, right? When Oprah was real brown and the hair was real big. Pantsuits. I remember.
Flat out.
From there to Oprah.
Oprah was super black.
Who put on Tyler. Who put on Lily. What do you want to do? Right?
Yep.
So let's get to Steve now. Now, Steve is a king of comedy. Steve been shucking and jiving for a number of years. Right? I don't agree with how Steve moves all the time. Never really have.
Yep.
But guess what Steve got that I don't got?
That bag.
A whole lot of money.
Yeah, he got the bag.
All right?
Big bag.
Has Steve moved in ways that are all, Black Lives Matter? Not all the time.
Oh, no. That are ways like, well, no, absolutely not.
Has he moved in the all lives matter way? Sometimes he may. But he's on Family Feud.
Yeah.
He had the radio. They even gave him a street. It's right down the street from mine. Okay? Steve gets the bag.
Steve got a street?
He got a street.
You got a street.
Steve got
115.
Got a street.
Steve ain't got no street.
So
Steve was street.
Steve gets the bag. Now, what Steve was saying was
Steve got a street, y'all.
This is two things that stuck out that a lot of very woke niggas on Twitter, follow me FC on the beat, did not understand.
Shout out to my woke people.
You woke niggas need to go to bed.
I love talking to woke people.
I'm sick of these niggas.
No, I ain't gonna lie, I love talking to woke people.
So this is what
Some of the
man,
best conversations ever.
Steve was
Shout out to my
was
woke
trying to explain the
people.
game to her, and he said the best thing you can do for poor people is not become one of them. Now let's stop here. The people that kept tweeting that put a period there, where Steve put a comma. Not become one of them, comma, because you can't help them that way.
You can't help them if you broke.
Yeah.
You can't.
That's true.
Truer things have never been spoken, in my opinion.
That's
true.
a fact.
He
That's a fact.
even
That's a fact.
described during the interview, because she refused to campaign for the movie, the Precious movie, that she got paid
Big
really
dummy.
well for. But he sat
She's
here and
silly
said,
for that.
you know what, Monique? You have to understand what you're talking about around. You're talking about rich people problems. You're not talking about poor people problems. You're talking about rich people problems.
That's all he was saying.
Not getting $1 million.
When he said that, though,
All
Millie,
he was saying.
I said,
This ain't a fight.
Nope.
I was in the room watching it by myself, and I looked around like somebody was with me.
Oh,
I said,
yeah,
"You
yeah.
heard him?" I said,
This is not a fight.
I'm not arguing about $1 million for
Not
an
at all.
ideal.
No.
Not at all.
You're giving me $1 million for an ideal that I have when I can come back. My man on Instagram Live said, I would have took that bag, rocked that show, and asked for a bigger bag later. Down the line, she's stupid for passing it up. I gotta
See,
especially
I follow one more thing. I follow a lot of the comedians that are having all these Netflix specials.
Yeah.
Listen to a lot of their podcasts, and when they were talking about this, the number that when they thought that $1 million, their response to the number $1 million is like, wow.
That's a lot of
I
money.
wish
That's a lot of money.
that she would have took that.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because the people
To
that are
them.
popping now in the space don't get $1 million.
You don't get $1 million.
for a Netflix special.
They gave her $1 million off her ideal because it's her. Because of her history, because of her track record. They said, okay, well, listen, and we're going to give you 1.5, all right? That's all we can do for you right now because, first of all, we didn't come up with this ideal.
You did.
We didn't come up with this. Wasn't in our plan for shows to drop. But we like what you're doing just a little bit. So let's see if people will respond to it based on who you are. We can always renegotiate.
especially
Joe Rogan ain't getting $1 million, and it's Joe Rogan.
nowadays,
Joe
it's
Rogan is-
even in acting.
It's a Joker card.
If
He does everything.
I know with acting and modeling, I know it's like if I sit here and I get offered a show, a spot on a show that's on Netflix, that's higher than it being on TV nowadays. This is Netflix.
Yes.
There are people winning awards from Netflix series. I'm gonna take that back.
Eat it.
Like, this is something this is going to be here forever. Can go back, can go watch, can reference to, can meet, whatever. And you take that back. You can have your reservations. Wait until you make a little more and then sit here and say what you want to say. And that's why I agree with Steve. There's a way to go about it. There's a way to go about it.
So I will say this in her defense. I do understand her being hurt because she felt as though people that she loved could have probably hit her up instead of like blasting her in public. I do. I totally get that part. However, in the space that she's in and how she operates, she knows more than anyone that the internet never forgets.
Yeah.
And what you say and do can be held against you
Yes.
in the court of social media.
The internet, dog.
You know what I'm saying?
None of
Like
that
once you
smoke.
online, it's a wrap. Like so
Yeah.
you making these comments from what seems to be from a place of having a high opinion of yourself is not really betting well for public opinion.
You know what else stood out to me about this? See, I'm looking at the stuff that ain't the hot take. I'm looking at what is Steve saying here that he trying to
Yeah.
Steve says something like that. I ain't seen a lot of people talk about it. Steve said this in passing. He said, you know, it's a way to move out here, you know, and this the money get blah, blah, blah. He said, and the way your husband is moving and the way y'all moving around here. I said, hold on, Steve. Wait a minute.
That's personal.
What you trying to say, dog? What you trying to say? Is this man fumbling all the bags you could have had?
Yeah.
It sounds like love is messing up the money. And listen,
See?
Love can mess up the money.
I thought the alley-oop
Love
off the
can
glass.
mess up the money.
Love
D-Wade,
can
baby, I'm
mess up
retiring
your
this year.
money.
Say it again, Millie.
Love can mess up your money. I know. I tell girls all the time when they're going after their dream, leave them boys alone for a
Ooh,
second.
leave them boys alone.
Okay?
Leave them boys
Leave
alone.
them
Leave them
alone. Because
alone.
if a man really loves you, he will not stop you from getting your
Listen,
bag,
if a
okay?
man and or a woman really loves you,
he will not stop
they're going to
you from
tell
getting
you
that bag.
or help you get to the
You
bag.
gotta get to the bag.
Right? Even if it's just for their own benefit.
Yep.
Listen, it sounds like Monique's husband is fumbling the bag. He needs somebody to catch it and flip it and tumble it. You know what I'm saying?
He get the bag and fumble it.
Man, he fumbling it.
All right.
But no. Real quick right here, then we're going to move on. Monique missed out on an opportunity trying to stand for something that no one cares about but her.
And there you have it. There you have it. There you have it. That makes sense to me. Because the integrity thing in my head, like, what moral high ground? What is your moral platform here?
And that's the one
What
thing,
is
like,
it?
with Monique, it was just with her, all this stuff happening, I was so confused on the purpose of her doing it.
Yeah.
That was like, if you're gonna do something, at least have, like, I can sit here and be like, okay, I understand why she's doing this. I'm glad she's doing this. But when I'm sitting here hearing, oh, Monique said this, Monique did that, I'm just like, girl, what's going on? Why are you doing
This the thing,
all
and
this?
we can really
Like,
move on.
Yeah, go.
This the thing, and we can you ain't that hot, my nigga. Like, get hot, and then talk it.
No, he not.
You ain't that hot.
I mean, you're
was.
consistent. She's been consistent. She's been
Because
consistent.
when she did the Precious movie, yes, that was her biggest acclaimed role.
Boom.
That
But you also gotta think,
and
though,
then
that was
she
like-
went and said, you know what? I'm not even campaigning for that Oscar award winning film.
She's stupid.
Okay,
Cause she ain't get paid.
That was
She didn't get
pride.
paid.
That was pride. Pride will cause you to do some stupid
Yeah.
things. Let me say that. That
Life
was a stupid.
lessons.
That was a
You
stupid
dropping
decision.
gems.
That was a stupid
All
decision.
right.
Pride to mess you up, man.
Mess you up.
Because she was stupid for
That's all I'm saying. Like,
not campaigning for that.
Irv Gotti said this years ago. I say that. I've probably said this 20 times on this podcast.
Yeah.
Everything changes when you get a hot record. Get hot. Everything else handles itself. Right now, Monique, you ain't hot. You can't make them Dave Chappelle demands if you ain't hot.
No, you
That's all
can't.
I'm saying.
You can't.
I'm done.
But
now.
don't destroy the bags that can get you back to.
They don't want the medium bag.
Don't destroy the bags that done brought you to where you at. How you not going? And like you said, we gonna move on from here. But how you not gonna campaign for
I'm just
Precious?
saying.
How you not?
You wrong.
How you not gonna campaign for Precious? I hate. What's the girl name that played Precious?
Gabby Sittleback.
Gabby said, I hate that she will always and forever be precious.
Yeah.
I hate that. You know what I'm saying?
Gabby doing a lot. She actually did.
But
That's how good the movie was, though.
No, the movie that is a testament to the movie. That's a super testament to the movie. But this is what I will say: if you remember my name forever because of that thing that I did over there,
yeah.
that means that when I introduce myself, I don't have to tell you who I am.
Boom.
Anyway,
that's
we go.
on.
What's the last thing, bro?
From one.
Oh my
What else
goodness,
we got?
From one hot mess to another. Mr. Jussie Smollett.
Jesse.
Oh my damn.
Jesse?
Was this designed for me?
We were all rooting for you.
Jesse.
And you just.
Jesse.
Man.
Jesse, you
So-
done messed up, Jesse.
Okay, so
Jesse done messed up.
to recap, you guys.
Jesse
so
messed up.
Jesse, star of Empire,
Oh man, talk about it, Millie.
sat here and So supposedly men in Chicago jumped him, poured bleach on him, and put a rope around his neck. It was a rape. It was a hate crime. Everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, why would you do this to a person?" And then they found the guys. They found the two men who did it, and then to behold, a can of worms started falling out.
Yes.
Oh,
you talking about Jussie, who brother sing drip drop drip drippity drop? You talking about Daddy Lucas? Lucas's son?
Well, this hate crime was a well orchestrated. Let's sit here and play a role of a victim.
What's going on here?
And by Jussie himself provided the tools, provided the people to do it, even rehearsed it, and is still, till this day, has yet to open up about faking everything, despite the cops dropping the brothers out of this and saying, you know what, Jussie, we need to talk to you.
Little Millie, so, this is what I think. I think that Jussie wanted to win an award. I think that he felt like his acting talents may have been getting overlooked in Empire. I think that when his show was hot, when it was the #1 drama in the world, right? Yeah. Right, in the world.
Everybody tuned in.
Everybody tuned in.
Everybody was like,
he felt like he was appreciated. I think he felt like he was appreciated. But now that his show isn't as hot anymore, he wanted people to understand that he could still act. Mm-hmm. So he wanted to get on an interview. He wanted to cry.
Here's my thing.
He wanted no. Let's talk about Jussie. Let's talk about the psychology behind this.
Okay.
If this case closes, right now, let's say this right here, because right now, even though Jussie is now the prime suspect in this thing, he still has
suspect in this.
He's a prime and only suspect in this thing. He still hasn't naturally been.
Hold on, my dude there said, "Yo, this ain't Empire. This ain't the Lion family tradition."
Man, Jussie has strayed away from the Lion family tradition.
What's wrong with him?
And I think that he was feeling like these people aren't paying enough attention to me. What's the most demonstrative thing that I could possibly do? What's the most freaking psychologically sickening thing that I could possibly do? What string can I pull on that I know will get an instant reaction from all of these different people? What group do I identify with the most that will start an uproar in my name?
That was two groups, people. Two groups.
Two groups of people.
Two groups.
Three.
It's three things going on right here at the same time.
LGBTQ.
Yes.
Anti-Trump. And niggas.
Yup.
Wow. Not black people. I said niggas on purpose. Niggas don't like this kind of stuff.
Niggas don't like this.
Niggas don't like this.
This is way out of niggadom.
No, yeah, we don't
got the type of stuff we do.
We don't do this. But go forward.
Yeah, Millie, say what you about to say.
I'm not. I'm chilling because I've been yelling.
Jussie?
I'm not.
Oh my goodness.
I'm still coming up in the acting industry and modeling, but if I am correct, if you are going to stage such a horrendous attack, I mean, I kind of expect hospital photos.
Oh no, we had that.
No. But when you go on national television, why is your face so crisp and clean for having bleach and a rope tied around? Like already, I'm looking at you like, where are these scars? This was a brutal. You got bleach thrown on you. Bleach. That's, bro.
You know what?
Like,
Let me. You know what?
I'm just very confused.
Go ahead. Go.
I'm the most upset at this table. You know why I'm the most upset? Because he got me.
He got everybody.
As soon as the story broke, I came on this show.
Jussie got you.
And said, "Hey, listen, man, this is terrible. This 2019, we can't keep treating ourselves like this. We got to get justice. We had the case in Chicago, and niggas is dying." I was going crazy, right? So then the next day, I ain't say nothing to nobody. I ain't put it in the group chat, nothing. I came the next day, I said, "Oh, this nigga was lying, Wait a minute." Because I woke up the next day and was like, wait a minute. This don't add up.
I don't know if you remember. We ended up having a conversation the next week.
No. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's the next week.
Okay, I got you.
I was already like, wait a minute. Let me look at these details. Because I done got jumped before. And this don't add up to a normal jumping. Like, I done been around some jumpings. And just don't even.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Y'all gonna get mad at me for saying this, and I'm fine with this. So Millie, get ready to stand your ground.
Okay.
Hold on, I hate.
Let me do this. Let me do this. You know what I'm saying? Ever since my hair started growing, I can do this.
Go ahead. Shake your dress.
He excited about them.
Let me do this before.
He
Let me do this before I say what I'm about to say.
Do it.
And make somebody mad. Millie.
Just say.
Jesse, you make the whole LGBTQ community look like a sham.
Fuck you, Jussie.
Like a sham.
Man.
Why are you doing this?
Ain't nothing.
No, I think
Why are you doing this?
Like, what I got so irritated about is like, because like you said, so you sat here, your goal was to make Trump people look like the epitome of racism.
Donald Trump is doing enough himself. You don't even have to do that.
You end up making two communities looking like a damn fool. Like
we look goop. Like this the bad part.
We look crazy.
This is the worst part, right?
We look crazy.
He sent the letter to himself at Fox.
Black people looking
That's
crazy.
the only thing he gonna probably go to jail for.
If he sent that letter to Fox, if they find out that he sent that letter to Fox.
They found the magazine at the spot with the clippers cut out.
yes.
I'm so sick of this guy.
So look. This is I found this out this morning because I stopped following it because I felt like I got shammed. You know, you get bamboozled, you just walk away sometime. Come to find out, he done hired the real life Olivia Pope to come and he had a whole crisis management team on top of this now.
So he
a whole crisis management squad. I forgot the name of the people. Like they the ones that handle like the real stuff, like the corporate stuff.
Oh, the real Olivia Pope team?
Like the real squad. Yeah. And I'm gonna sign off on this.
So,
this is when I really knew it was bad.
And I just got.
Hold on, wait. I gotta say this. This is when I knew it was.
Read your comment. I'm gonna read this comment on Facebook.
This is when I knew it was bad. When he got on stage and called himself the gay Tupac, I knew he had played us.
Hold on. When he said what?
He called himself the gay Tupac. At that show where he was reading off the cue card. That's how I know he played us. I said, oh, he done got me, nigga. God damn. I'm a fool.
He called himself the gay Tupac?
The gay Tupac. Yeah, brother.
I don't even understand. That don't make sense. What does that even mean?
Oh, no. He the gay Tupac.
What does that even mean?
How do you want it?
Bruh. Okay.
Nigga, how do you want it?
Why?
How do you want it?
How does it feel?
So
how does it feel
coming up
as a nigga in the
Oh my goodness!
Because
so go, Millie, go, Millie, go, Millie, go, please go. I'm losing it over here.
now
I'm losing it over here.
he is still standing by his story to this day. He's frustrated that people are like, no, I didn't lie about this. I didn't do this. This is how you know it's bad. His attorney has called Hail Mary
back, Millie.
in the case. Your prosecutor is postponing the grand jury because you fucked up that
Millie,
bad.
Tupac's back.
What?
Tupac's back.
Okay.
Go ahead. The prosecutor, what? Go ahead.
So
I'm sorry.
his prosecutor.
Stop, man. This is killing me, man. Go ahead. Stop, man. Shut up. Please shut up. Go, Millie. Go.
So his prosecutor.
Regulate your breathing.
Because so much shit is coming out. They said she has, quote unquote, rescued herself from this case, postponing the grand jury because so much stuff is coming out.
My nigga, wait.
Hold on.
She rescued herself.
Go back just a little bit. The prosecutor, hold on.
His prosecutor, lawyer,
his lawyer said,
is pretty much calling a Hail Mary because so much is coming out. He's postponed the grand jury. It's just so much that his lawyer don't know what the fuck to do. Like when your lawyer don't know what to do and how to defend you, so you need to just.
So his hold on, I'm talking about. So his lawyer has gone out and made a request to postpone the whole grand jury thing because, or they probably had to because there's so much more information coming out. Of course, they don't have anybody to prosecute anyway yet.
Right.
So there's so much information coming out that his lawyer is trying to kind of pretty much back away from this case.
Yes.
Got to.
This is bad.
Got to.
This is bad.
First of all, you know what I'm saying? F your B and then click you claim.
Man, come on, man. Just go ahead, man.
Empire till we ride, niggas. Quick to aim. All right. All right.
Homegrown. She said, listen.
You claim to be a player.
She said next time he needs to tell his manager to find him more work. Problem solved. Empire will be on his last season soon anyway. Do you think that he's seeing that the well's running dry?
I think what
is it?
And this is the classic thing that happens. Like, even people don't understand. Like, where he got his start is not a lot of actors get that. Mm-hmm. You know, you got your start on a show that blew up so much. Mm-hmm. And just because now you have this small time frame of, like, you know, you're not getting work.
Yeah.
It's a classic case of, like you said, he wanted attention. He got bored. He felt like people forgot about him. But he doesn't understand, like, this is what that industry is sometimes. There are going to be times where you have the biggest role of your lives. And then once you're done, okay, maybe it's going to take some time for you to pick out which one.
But to bring so many
maybe
people
your manager, maybe he didn't know. And this is the one thing why.
To bring so many people into this.
Here's the thing.
It hurts. Just hurts.
Become best friends with your agent, because they sometimes had gigs lined up for you that you don't even know about. And for all he knows, his manager probably had a next thing for him, but he didn't sit here and take the time to be like, hey, you know, it's kind of just been a little slow. Can you let me know if, like, there's anything coming up? Like, is there anything I can do before you just orchestrate your whole thing? Because this is going to be a really career damaging.
You went out of the way to make Donald Trump look worse than he already does. Like, you went out of the way to cause a social. You could have caused a social riot. For real.
Bruh.
Imagine if the whole community would have got together and
people
said,
people really could have attacked Trump support. Like, people, like, you really
dang, this is
put
crazy.
People's lives at risk. Like
I understand why the police are so angry about this situation, because when you're on a platform like that, literally your words can sway people to do so many extreme things. Luckily, this is what I will say. Luckily, Jussie's influence does not have the depth that he actually thought it might have had.
No, it does. It does. Nigga, that's the gay Tupac, nigga. You know how important Tupac is to the culture, nigga?
Hey, man, listen. If I don't get up off of this thing right now, I'm out. I'm done.
It did have
he said it.
It did have the depth.
I'm
we
done with
said
this
it because
show.
he
y'all can talk about what y'all want to talk about. I'm through. I knew Tupac didn't die. He came back as Jussie Smollett because he the gay Tupac. I'm out. I'm done. Y'all wrap this episode up for yourself. This was episode 62 of the Pint Size Podcast.
How do you want it, man?
Was in the building today. FC is still on the beat. I met the gay Tupac. He is resurrected and he is real. I'm sick of this. I'm out. I'm done. This is over. It's a wrap. Listen, subscribe. Call your people. How's your wives? How's your kids? How's your family? We out here.
Oh,
man. We out.
What? I can't believe that man called us the gay too.
How you want it, man?